Morning, everybody. Firstly, an apology for those of you who listened to this captain's chat last week, and very encouraging to hear how many of you did listen to it and watch it. And I know that because there were a couple of people who made some comments, which is perfectly fine. And the first one was about the wind last week, and apparently quite a lot of it you couldn't hear because the wind was blowing. That wind is still blowing. You can see outside there's some movement in the trees and the flag, but good that so many people are listening to this captain's chat. The other apology is to James Miller, because when I told you in the chat last week who I'd played with in the victorious scramble team on Easter Day, I said it was James Elmer, and big apologies to James Miller, because it was actually James Miller who was part of my team at Easter. So apologies for depriving him of his moment of glory, but he will get not just his moment of glory, but 14 hours of glory on Friday the 14th of June during Gala Week, when he'll be playing 5.5 rounds of golf in this 100-hole challenge. So apologies, James. We played again on Sunday in the Robbie Robson Rose Bowl, and I think he's forgiven me. And great to be back on the white tees, isn't it? So we played the first men's competition on Sunday off the white tees, although they were quite a long way forward, but that was absolutely fine. Still a howling gale, so difficult conditions. So the Robbie Robson Rose Bowl was the competition on Sunday, and it was good to welcome back Martin Butcher, from his travels in South Africa, who was in my team along with James. Butch found it a bit of a shock coming back to this weather, having been in temperatures of mid-20s in South Africa, but we got an even bigger shock as we came out of the bar on Sunday afternoon to hear that Martin Hooper had eagled the 17th. So he'd hold his second shot on the 17th for 5 points. So well done, Martin, but he couldn't do it again though. And also very good to see Bob Bauer back on the course after quite a substantial period of being off games due to injury. So, and I would just at that point just say to people, if you've been injured or you've been ill and you're thinking about making a comeback to playing golf, it is really therapeutic to get out there in the fresh air, and whether you just play a few holes or even just a few shots or a few putts, or if you don't feel that you're quite up to swinging a golf club, just go for a walk, and above all, meet up with your mates, because it's really, really good for your mental health to get out there, get fresh air. If you can hit a ball, great, but also to just have a chance to have a chat with your friends. So summer. Yep, it is summer, or getting there. The first club match takes place next week, and that's a match against the Surrey Cricketers, being organised by Richard Fawcett, and I'm playing in that one. And just a reminder to everybody about the knockouts, so please sign up for the knockouts. We want entries in by the end of April, and we will be looking at the current local rule that we have covering the number of cards and qualifying cards you need to put in before you can enter for competitions, and particularly board competitions. And we've got a committee meeting this week, so we'll clarify that in my next week's captain's chat. Just behind me here, the practice nets are being refurbished, which is great news for those of us who should go into the practice net and swing the club a few times before we stand on the first tee. I'm majorly guilty of not doing that, but it's great that we've got the work going on to refurbish the practice nets. A big thank you to Ali Gibb. Ali has volunteered to take over as treasurer of the 2000 club, taking over from Roy Simmons. Roy's been the treasurer forever, so big thanks to Roy for many, many years of sterling service, but also welcome to Ali, who's taking over the 2000 club treasurer's role. And finally, no balls in my garden for the last 2 weeks, so obviously you guys are learning to hit a bit straighter, but I went out for a walk on the course this morning, just walked up to the 7th and back, and I found 2 balls here. Now there's one that I don't think I'm going to give back because it's a virtually brand new Pro V1, which I found on the edge of the 9th. It's got a ring round the number, so it's a Titleist 3 Pro V1, but it looks as if it must have been hit at least once, but it looks brand new. If you really want it back, fine. it's £10 for the Captain's Charity for the Pro V1, otherwise that's going in my bag. But the second one is a Wilson staff with a very distinctive blue line round it. I found that this morning just by the edge of the bunker on the first as I was walking home. So if you want that one back, you can have it back for a £5 donation to the Captain's Charity. So that's it from me. Enjoy your golf this week. I'll be playing on Friday and again on Sunday, and look forward to speaking to you next week. Cheers.